When the mercury soars beyond 120 degrees, the metal of man burns through. As record heat melts contenders, the grit of some shines for all to see. Who has what it takes to overcome the elements and top-level competition? Killian Carroll, Daniel Cordova, David Fink, and Shorty Ruiz lead an all-star studded group in search of glory. Now we find out on WPHLive.tv with Patron as legends of the game compete for cash and the right to claim the King of the Desert. Icebreaker 11 from Clark Park in Tucson, Arizona starts right now. And we welcome you back very early in the morning here on a Saturday at Clark Park. My name is Dave Vincent as we have the WPH Outdoor 3-Wall Clark Park Icebreaker Challenge number 11 slated for the early morning here, starting as soon as the sun came up to avoid the heat. Heat index expected to be over 135 degrees on the court here. Daniel Cordova versus Danny Perez. Both players warming up as we speak, getting ready for that very first serve. Best 2 out of 3 to 15. Tiebreaker also 15, and you have to win by 2. Danny Perez lives right here in Tucson, Arizona, and Daniel Cordova coming in from El Paso, Texas. Cordova is the number 6 seed. Number 1 you see is Killian Carroll, followed by Shorty Ruiz, Abraham Montijo, and David Fink. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 respectively. Leo Canales, the 5 seed. Daniel Cordova is the 6th, followed by Sam Esser, also from Tucson, Arizona, at number 7. Emmett Peixote, the 8 seed. John Chapman, number 9. As you can see the rest of that bracket there, Daniel Cordova, he steps in as a qualifier to go up against Daniel Cordova. So Danny Perez, the qualifier, and Daniel Cordova getting that very first serve. If you thought Daniel Cordova's serve on an indoor 4-wall court was good, with the way he's able to hop the ball right and left, then you should see how good he can serve. And there you saw it right there, outdoors. He's able to slide balls down wall, both sides, and he's also able to check balls into the sidewalls deep with his reverses and naturals, and he can do it pretty much with both hands. I mean, he's more effective on the serve, but even in the rally, he'll do some weird stuff like that, going over the top of the ball with a nice little reverse. And another miss there from Danny Perez. Danny has been knocking on that qualifier's door for some time. Not able to ever do it on the Pro Tour until now. And he hit that ball a little too hard. At one point years ago, when they all started at the same time, the Luis Morenos, the Abraham Montijos, Danny Perez, Chris Maldonados, Danny was the best out of those players. Commitments with family, his wife, his kids, his work, kept him off the handball court, but at one point he was the best of that younger group. The Raul and Omar Felix group, part of that Yes to Kids and the Fred Lewis Foundation. He's a product of that group. Unfortunately for him, he qualifies and then goes right up against a buzzsaw in Daniel Cordova. And you're playing a guy who can hit balls deep like that with a reverse with his right hand. It slides into that deep side right wall and then checks right back into your gut. Very hard to face a player that can hop the ball as hard and as good as Daniel Cordova. Big setup here. Danny's also got a great first strike, and he shows you right now as his 10th point is now put on the scoreboard. 10-0, not really the showing you want after qualifying and making your way into the round of 16. Another great serve there. Unbelievable serve right there, Daniel Cordova. Getting another ace recorded onto the scoreboard. And there's a side out. It was a really good opportunity there for Perez to get a point on that scoreboard. Had the great look that he wanted. Now he has to go up against this amazing serve from Daniel. And he can only hope Daniel hits those balls into the side wall like that. Perez hits that perfect ceiling shot. Danny thought about coming in, and then he realized he was too late to run back, so he just stayed right up front, slowly walked back to return the serve. And a good serve from Perez, who gives him a little wrinkle of his own, deep. I think all morning I've been calling this the round of 16. In reality, it's the quarterfinals. Look at this ball. Just, you're never going to see a deep crack serve like that from that camera angle. Again, unless it happens in this match. Giving you unique looks here today. I want to thank Shay Lowenstein as we take a look at Daniel Cordova, who comes in from El Paso, Texas. San Angel Athletic Club there. His highest ever WPH Pro ranking is number 2, but it seems to me that he has been number 1. But I guess that's probably accurate. Usain Bolt is his favorite athlete. His hop serve, power, 2 great hands, pretty even temperament on the court, which I'm sure gives him some points every now and then. His biggest win, Atlanta and Portland Race for 8 titles. Daniel Cordova has been consistently one of our best players on the Pro Tour, and also showing it here in outdoor play. And that's going to be played over, I believe, unless Daniel called a wrist on himself. It is game point 14-2. And there it is. Danny takes game number 1 against Daniel Perez and skates on into game number 2 here at Clark Park in Tucson, Arizona, where we're holding Icebreaker number 11. We've held 11 of these tournaments since September. This is the first round of the Icebreaker Challenge. Daniel Cordova coming in number 6 seed, and the number 11 seed is Daniel Perez, who gets 2 points in game number 1. Back for game number 2 as Danny Perez gets that first serve. Only scoring 2 points in game number 1. It took him quite a while to get into that server's box. And he had a couple opportunities to score more points, but he just didn't take advantage. Hop serve from Daniel Cordova kind of highlighted game number 1. That sort of was the headline there. Might see more of a complete game here from Danny Perez, and what took him 10 minutes to do in game number 1, score a point, he's done here within 10 seconds of game number 2. And you can see a complete different philosophy as Daniel just gives him that shot. Now he's matched his total outcome of game number 1 very early on here. 2-0. Perez was going to try to sneak in one of those underhand paddle punch fist re-kills. It's such a low percentage shot. as Danny scores his first point. That ball hit deep. Now we're tied at 2, going to 15, and yet to win by 2. It's already getting warm here this morning. We're still in the 7 o'clock hour on a Saturday in Tucson, Arizona here at Clark Park, and the heat index is expected to be over 130 degrees on this court, as today might break an all-time record for temperature. The highest ever recorded temperature in Tucson was 117 degrees, and the weather service says 116 possible for today. We're already in the 90s, almost at 100, and we're still in the 7 o'clock hour. Just a couple days ago, Tucson did break a record when we hit 100 degrees at 8:13 a.m. And we may do that again here today. We'll see. Not like I'm rooting for it or something, but I'm not. Now you're seeing a lot of these balls flying off the court, most of it just desperation and having some weak legs. You make these decisions that you don't want to push yourself too hard because your mind says physically you can't, so you start using all wrist, all hand, and less footwork, and the result is balls going off the court and some mishits. We get a side out, 2-6. Daniel has a really good serve. It's just that he hasn't been in the service box to show us. Another really good ceiling shot from Daniel Cordova. Perez tries to at least get it back to the front wall and pokes that ball off the side court. That's such a brilliant shot. You just throw the ball back to the front wall and just try to clip the side wall. Either side works. Your opponent is so far deep that they have to run all the way up to try to get that ball. And if they do get it, they're on the run. It's not usually an offensive position, but your ultimate goal is that you're just wearing them down. And there's another one that Daniel Perez hit off the facade just below the gate or the fence that's up on the roof. And it seems like a majority of these balls just hit that 1 6-inch strip up there. Another good shot from Cordova, now 10-2. He wins the first one 15-2. Same dominance here in game number 2 for Cordova. And Perez missing another shot, trying to feather that one down the wall. Looked like a hit off a knuckle. And Cordova now putting another point on that scoreboard. Short ball called. Abraham Montijo is the number 3 seed. And whomever wins this one will have to face the finalist of the 4-Wall Nationals 2019. Excuse me, the 3-Wall National finalist of 2019. Abraham Montijo. You'd have to say that Montijo and Daniel Cordova are rivals here in the Great American Southwest. That ball looked like it was short. Score here is 4-12. And you'd also have to say that Abraham Montijo and Daniel Perez are rivals here in Tucson, Arizona. They've faced each other probably more than anybody else has in this city. Ball was almost perfect from Daniel. He slices that right side wall just a little too far back. Doesn't make the front wall. It's a great pass shot now. Putting Danny back up there, up front. Trying to win this quarterfinal. I believe that throughout the morning I've been calling this round of 16, but it actually is the quarterfinal. We have two separate brackets, and those brackets then play off. The score here is 13-4, looking for 2 more points for Cordova to advance to face Abraham Montijo a little later this morning. Now 1 more point away. Here it is, match point. Cordova misses. Those shots are frustrating. Your mind says that all you have to do is just flatten out your fist and just poke it down the wall, and then it hits off a knuckle. That's a great use of the ceiling shot there from Perez. I contend that that's an actual kill shot. Sometimes you're in the right position, you just hit that roof and that's it. There's nothing your opponent can do. Cordova gives him that one, now scoring another point here, Daniel Cordova. Second serve. Ball was deep. Again, offensive shot up to the roof. Cordova knows that Danny Perez is going to have to basically dive to get that ball on a short hop off the ceiling here at match point, and he gets it on a great reverse serve that just clips that right side wall. Daniel Cordova is advancing here to face Abraham Montijo in a few minutes, winning 15-2, 15-5. Daniel Cordova just outlasted Danny Perez, who made a lot of hand airs there on the deep court and really couldn't get back that great serve that Daniel was throwing up. Well, thanks for tuning in to WPHLive.tv here in the quarterfinal as we have a matchup between Daniel Cordova and Abraham Montijo in just a few minutes. Score 15-2, 15-5. Danny Cordova advances. My name is Dave Vincent. Thanks for tuning in to WPHLive.tv.